Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you guys. This is my prayer room, and my father took off air condition yesterday, so he would have noticed if this candle was burning. He would have told me that I maybe accidentally left the candle on, because he took off the air condition from the window as it's getting colder, and I need to get it out of there, put it in the storage unit. So he was working on that probably for at least half hour. He would have noticed this light on. So the thing is, since I had my monthly period, I didn't pray since 3 days ago, and it's not possible that the candle would be on for 3 days, and it's not part of Muslim religion to light the candles, so I don't want anybody to be confused. It's just that I do that sometimes. Just I feel it's a beautiful thing to light a candle. It's not something that is part of my religion or anything. It's just a personal, like a good feeling thing. And so I and of course it's in honor of God, so I just light this candle sometimes when I pray. And I did maybe I did 3 or 4 days ago, but not in the last 2 days. That's what I'm trying to say. Not in the last 48 hours, because I couldn't pray. So I wasn't even like I make supplication, and that's what I did tonight. I came in the room to make a supplication as it's dusk time, and of course I was looking up in this area, and suddenly I noticed. Also, funny thing is that last night I had my light on, and you can see my light has it's kind of like a hanging light, because this is my prayer room. This is an additional room in my house. It wasn't a room before. It used to be a porch, so it doesn't have actual ceiling light fixtures. So I kind of improvise this. So this thing goes on and off sometimes very easily. You can see now. You see, it's very touchy-feely. It goes on and off, and it's crazy sometimes. It's driving me crazy because it will not stay on. So I remember last night I was trying to keep it on. You see, it's very, it's enough just to, because it has a switch here, and it's very old. And you see, I put some foil here to keep it to have a contact. You see, it goes off just so easily. I didn't even press. You see, it's crazy. So if it was off, and it was off last night because it was driving me crazy like that, and it usually does like almost every night, because until I kind of calm it down and it stops doing that. I hope my neighbor doesn't think I'm doing something crazy. Anyways, I would have noticed last night, that that candle was on, because I remember I had to get my phone and give myself some light. So I was checking this plug to make sure that there's enough contact, because it was turning off and off, like it wouldn't stay on, in other words. So I would have noticed if this light was on. So definitely, well, God knows best, but I think it relighted itself. By the way, I don't have anyone live in this house besides my mom and my dad, so she doesn't ever get into this room. She thinks it's my private sort of sanctuary, so she doesn't. I mean, I offer her she can come in here and pray anytime she wants, but she usually prays on the go wherever she is, and so she doesn't pretty much get into my room often. So and she doesn't like, also my mom, she always complains about these incense see that light? You see, that's a living proof. I didn't touch anything. I was just touching the incense sticks, and my light went off, and was doing that last night too. So I would have noticed this candle. So yeah, she hates the incense stinks. Yeah, well, she calls them stinks, because she doesn't like the I'm just gonna leave that light off right now. I'm gonna fix it later because she doesn't like the smell of the incense. She's very sensitive, so she also doesn't like candles, and she hates when the candles go off. So they like she doesn't like the smoke. So my mom would never light a candle. She would never do that, and definitely not my dad. So what I'm trying to say here is that I believe that this candle has relit itself, and it has happened recently with the blue one, if you guys remember. So for me, and this one, I sometimes I light two candles, usually blue and in blue and red shade for twin flames. But this one is really in honor of God, of Creator, and I usually go with the white candle, as the white represents that purity of the source. And so it just, as I was doing my supplication this evening, I've noticed, suddenly I looked up and I was like, wow, that is that on? And it's really like on the bottom, there's not much left. So I don't know, I was sleeping in this room last night. As I said, the light was acting up, and I needed to use my phone as a help to light the area so that I could fix the light. So that was not on as I would have noticed it, or maybe I was made not to notice, I don't know. So what I feel like, what I'm channeling right now, what this could mean is that the light of God is open and the mercy of God is open for everyone right now. I also had a download that this is going to be especially important, and like this window of opportunity for you to pray for your reunion is open until 11/11 2018, which 201 and 8 make it 11, right? 2 plus 1, 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 8 is 11, and then we have 11/11, so it's going to be 3 times 11. 11, 11, 11. So on the 11th of November of 2018, stay up all night and pray for your reunion, and pray with the love and joy. Don't pray with any feeling of lack of pain, but just love and joy. And I will make this as the beginning of the video, and then we're gonna continue because I have some amazing stuff for you, and some amazing signs and messages that were downloaded for the past 2 weeks. Love you guys, and I'll continue in seconds. Before we get into actual signs and messages, very important is to understand as a feminine, as a female, perhaps in most cases, feminine is female. And I don't like to use, even if I do sometimes, if it's a slip of a tongue, I don't like to use the word divine feminine and divine masculine. If you don't like that, then it's fine with me if you don't resonate with me. But I feel that if we were truly, I do believe, by the way, just so that you know where I'm coming from, I do believe in law of attraction. I do believe that we can manifest with the will of God. I believe that source, and you can call it source, Allah, vortex, grid, whatever you want to call the source energy, it does provide manifestation for you, and it is up to you how you feel about it. If you have learned about law of attraction and how manifesting works, I do believe that we play part in our own manifestation and our own reality. I have learned that much so far, but at the same time, I don't feel that we are divine. There is only one source energy, and we do come from the source. That's another also paradox, you may say, but we individually are not divine. We are, if we were all gods, then there would be a really messy place, it's not possible, because we would destroy each other if we were all gods. There's only one Allah ilaha illallah, and therefore we cannot say for ourselves to be divine. And here's a living proof that you're not divine. You can be manifester, and just like Jesus or Prophet Muhammad said that with the power of your belief that Allah, God, source will give you manifestation. It's so, yes, it's up to you, but you do not decide. It's still you do not provide. In other words, it comes from the source. So source is the one that only deserves the word to be respected as divine. So that's what I'm trying to say here. You may be co-creator in the process, but you're not the ultimate creator. Because if we were creators, we would be with our twin flames by now. That's a living proof. If you are such a divine being, then why don't you manifest your twin flame right now and manifest your union right now? So we have to be humble enough to admit that we are not divine, but we are part of the divine. We do belong to divine. Even Islam says, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun, which means basically from Allah, from the source we do come, and to the source we do return. So that's the ultimate union, is with the source where we come from. But to call ourselves divine is just quite ridiculous to me. And someone did coin that term, and I don't mind it. I listen to the videos when they say divine masculine, divine feminine, but I don't accept it myself. And I'm okay with you if you do feel that way. That's up to you. That's okay. But again, like I said, if you really truly are the you have to understand the meaning of the word divine. If you truly are divine yourself as an entity, like as in divine, if you think you're not creation but that you are creator, not co-creator, then try to manifest your union right now. If it works out for you, that like tonight, like right now, if you can manifest your union, then please drop a comment below and let us know that you did, and we will all believe in you. All right, so that's what I try to say here, is that I believe that we're all masculines and feminine twin flames, and that's great enough to be a twin flame, to recognize your twin, to be honored by God, by Creator, to have opportunity to know your twin, to recognize them, to be embarked on this journey, no matter how hard it is. It's kind of like being a prophet, because prophets never wanted to be prophets. They didn't choose to be prophets, unlike some religions claim today that they have prophets and whatnot. Prophets do not choose themselves. Many of them objected to their prophecy, and I don't blame them, because that's the hardest human journey that you can imagine, to not only be a leader for your own life path, but to lead others. It's really hard. It's a lot of responsibility. It's a lot to pull, and a lot of people disregard you. A lot of people shame you, turn you into a fool, call you a fool. And so every prophet had a really hard time being a prophet, but that didn't stop them on their journey. Likewise, being a twin flame, you may feel it's hard at times, but then I will tell you, I would never replace it for anything else in my life, because it has opened so many doors for me, being a twin flame and realizing that I'm a twin flame, and learning about what it means to be a twin flame, what it feels like to be a twin flame. It's building you as a person tremendously, so you have to appreciate that. So yes, it's hard. Is it hard to build a house? You think it's easy to build a house? Have you ever tried? Have you ever seen? If you never witnessed building of the house, please, you can YouTube videos about people who build their own houses from the scratch. Even when I say from the scratch, even making a cake from a scratch is not an easy process. But if you like making cakes, and if you enjoy, and if you enjoy the process, it can be very therapeutic. Cooking can be therapeutic. To create something is therapeutic. It's called art, right? But is it easy physically to be an artist? Is it easy to paint a picture, or to make a sculpture, to sculpt something out of clay? Physically, it requires your time and effort and skill, and it's not something you can say it happens in a flash of an eye. It takes time. So, but if you enjoy the process, then that's the point. It's the beauty of process, you know. So that's like your twin flame journey. It's not easy. You sweat sometime. It's emotionally sometimes overwhelming, but enjoy that knowledge that you are growing with it, that you are sculpting yourself. You're sculpting your spirit and your body and everything through this twin flame journey. I've changed so much because of my twin flame, and because of God showing me who my twin flame is, and because of me wanting to create the union with my twin. If I look at myself 4 years ago, like Facebook will drop those memories from 4 years ago, I can't even recognize myself. I have morphed so much and changed, and it's really like a butterfly process, you know, being a twin flame. So don't regret any moment of your twin flame journey, even the hardest moments, because even life itself as a journey in general is not always easy. It's most of the times it's not easy, but it's what makes life interesting, you know. So what I wanted to say about a masculine, or uh, or we can say male twin, masculine twin, is that, so we as feminine twins, we must understand some aspect of masculine twin, which is about their timing. All right. So most of feminine twins have a problem with their twin flame, their masculine twin, not approaching them yet, not making effort to create the union, or even running away from, not only not approaching, but they appear to be running away from the union, or basically not making any action towards you as a feminine, as a female. All right. And as times have changed, well, I don't know if the times have changed, because throughout the history there were women who approached their men first, including first wife of Prophet Muhammad. She proposed to him, so that was amazing for their time, that a woman would approach men with a marriage offer. So yeah, it's not just these times, but yes, generally times have changed, and nowadays women will ask men on a date, will ask men for marriage. But it's not always about the times, it's about individual women and individual men. So you could say that some of us female twins, feminine twins, have approached our twins and have asked them maybe out, or have told them about our feelings, or somehow try to make friendship with them. And many times they hurt us. They sometimes, some of you have experienced that you did have relationship with them and then they run away, or you never had relationship with them, or you haven't tried and they haven't tried, because you're that gentle feminine and you didn't want to be pushy and you didn't want to approach them, or you tried sometimes and it pushed them even further away, so you just uh, reversed your steps, and you were discouraged to do anything else, and which is fine, because you don't want to push them further away by pursuing them. If it's scaring them, why should you do it? So in anyways, whatever your dynamics with your twin was basically, it all comes to the same, that they're not trying enough, and that's what's giving us the lowest vibration, and that's what is bothering us the most in this journey. This is what bothers us the most. We gotta admit that, is that they're too slow. They're like, why is he not doing anything about us? Why, if he cares? And this is the reason why many of you have given up or tried to give up, but then came back, because this bond is unbreakable. You can't break a bond with yourself. And so I keep telling that to people. You can try other things, but don't expect them to last. Okay, you sometimes have to try other things. It's part of your journey, but don't put your hopes down. Don't put all your cards down on someone else, because just they seem better, or they seem to be your soulmate, or your replacement twin, or your fake twin, or false twin, or what manifesting your twin, or channeling your twin. Don't put your hopes down that other relationship is gonna last, because your bond with your twin flame is the eternal one, so you can't break it off. You can stay away from your journey for a while, but you will just waste more time later. Anyways, back to the masculine twin. Why is he not approaching? Why is he not making any action? Why is he acting like that? While at the same time, you may see your twin, and this is the most freaking painful part, is you see your twin pursuing other females, or pursuing other things in life, and putting efforts into other things, and focusing on other people, and he should be using that energy on you, right? This is what you're thinking. And you can call them karmics or whatever the case is. It's the most painful for you. That's the ego part that we are not able to cope with so much as with other things. It's the hardest part. Like, okay, so he doesn't have time for me, he's scared of me, but he's not scared of other females, and he's not. Okay, so that's what I really want to, and it's really important that I explain to you right now. I usually don't try to coach people as twin flame. I always tell you, just I'm going to share my experiences and you can compare the notes, but I have to sometimes do a little bit of coaching, because there's things that if we don't share them and we don't teach people, then we are doing bad karma for us by not doing it. Because if we know something, we're supposed to share. If we have the knowledge of something, we need to be the teachers. It's our duty to do that. So I feel duty to share this with you. So why they are easy approaching other women and not you? And sometimes these women may be even less attractive than you, sometimes they're more attractive to you. So either way, it's bothering you and it's hard. Here's why. First, let's look at the general male population, and I will give you practical example. A guy from 10 years ago, so even earlier than I met my twin, longer time has passed of me knowing that person than my twin, who had moved out of my state about 5 or 6 years ago. Just a little bit after I met my twin, he actually moved away from this state to the state of California. This other guy, not my twin, I'm not talking about my twin now, just a guy that I knew through the community, and we used to volunteer together, and he was really nice to me and all, but I felt no intention on his part. Like, he was not hitting on me, he didn't seem romantically interested in me. We were just colleagues. We just worked together in our religious community, and he's about the same age. We have kind of similar background and so on. And he moved to another state so many years ago, right? Somehow we were still friends on Facebook, I think. Like, I don't know since when. Was it like just before he moved out or something? I don't even remember. And now after so many years, he is kind of approaching me romantically, right? So why would someone have a crush on me for 10 years and now come out and start to show, even now a little bit shy, but showing his feelings? Because he's a man, and men are slow, okay? And you will find this as a paradox right now. Many of you will say, no, men are not slow, they're hunters, they run after women, they pursue women. No, men are slow. They can harbor their feelings for long time. Like, if they really have feelings, they can do it for really longer. They can have a gestation period that is very long for their feelings before they bloom out and show out on the surface. They can have really long time before they come around in action. And why is it paradox that sometimes they come out really fast and approach women and hit on women and have pickup lines with women and date different women and go through different relationships, like short-term relationships, and that seems to be easy for them? On the other hand, it's because they are hunters, but they aim at easy targets, all right? And by saying easy target, some of you may assume that a person they pursue is an easy girl or easy target. Or when they say easy, it's like she's easy to to uh, pursue, she's easy to acquire, she's easy to turn into your girlfriend or your date. It doesn't mean that necessarily. It could mean that sometimes in case of these men, but it doesn't also need. Sometimes they will pursue women that are hard to get or that play hard to get. So that's not only imperative. It's easy target for these men because men, you have to watch out where these men are coming from. What are their feelings for these women that they're pursuing so easily, that they assume as easy target? It's easy from their man perspective, as because their feelings for these women are not deep feelings. Okay, that's the key. It doesn't mean that that woman is easy to acquire. It doesn't mean that that woman is easy to. And when I say acquire, it's for the lack of better words. Don't be offended by that. I mean, like, to get her to have a relationship with you, or to go out with you, or to date you, or to make out with you, or whatever, whatever that goal is with that woman. It's not always easy woman. Sometimes they will even go for women that are more attractive than you, okay? And you will be confused. But let's get to that later. I'll explain that when it comes to your twin flame specifically. But all men can be very fast in approaching women when it's easy target, meaning that it's easy for the guy because his feelings for this individual is easy feeling. It's not a hard. There's nothing to lose. They don't feel like they would lose anything because they're not emotionally attached to this female. So they will just go like, whatever, it's just a game, it's just a play, it's just for fun. So they will not be having clammy hands and shaking and tongue twisting and not in their throat. They will not be scared. They will not have any problem approaching these women. And many times this will be hard for you to understand if you try to understand from the male perspective. And the only reason I can understand this from masculine perspective is because I have really merged with my twin, and I do now have his masculine energy within me, and I can understand. But if you're still not there, you can understand from female perspective right now. As a female, as a feminine, you can understand from your own perspective. It's just the other side of the spectrum. And let me give you example. If you're female and there's a guy who's hitting on you, but you don't really care, you're not really attracted to him. So I'm not saying that these males are not attracted to those females. No, I'm just saying that they're not emotionally attached. So let's say from your perspective, you need to have some feelings for a guy too, or like he needs to be attractive enough for you so that you would return your feelings to him. So if there's no such case, if you're not feeling anything for the guy and he's hitting on you, it may be just fun for you that you flirt a little bit with him. You would feel flirty and maybe playful, just adorable, being yourself. You would definitely be yourself because you would be relaxed and you would have nothing to gain and nothing to lose. So you'd be totally yourself and no worry in the world. And that's exactly what males feel towards those females they are pursuing so easily, that they ask out on dates, that they text. They're just having fun because there's no emotional depth whatsoever. So you have to, I know you're gonna say, well, I don't know, but I assume some of you may say that that's like, but she gets all the attention. That's not how you must understand this. This is much deeper than that. So you have to understand that we are human beings and we are created weak, and we are those are our weaknesses, and that reflect that way. So your twin is basically, he may be pursuing, let's go back to your twin right now. So add to that, like if you have feelings for a female, when any male, if he has feelings for the female, he may wait a long time before he presents those feelings out, before he gets out of friend zone, before he even because he may pretend to even ignore you because he's afraid to show his real emotions to you, because he may get hurt, because he may get rejected. So most of males are very slow in showing real feelings, deep feelings. Anything more than just a fling, they will take time to consider and come out with it, because they're kind of planning how to approach you. So on top of that, when you have your twin flame who has specific energetic field, magnetic field, that push and pull dynamics between the two of you, that is like bursting energy when you are in the same room, or I like to say even in the same zip code, then add to that and add the fear of such a deep commitment that twin flame relationship requires, and the overwhelming of everything they feel at that moment. It's, and also confusion in their mind field, because some of them don't even know still who you are. Some of them still don't realize that is what the twin flame is. And so add all of that, and they may be running for their life, not only avoiding you. So if they have been acting weird with you, trust me, they're trying their best. They're struggling a lot, because it may not seem like that on the surface. You may think they don't care and they like just, they don't even know who you are anymore, but trust me, they do, because they kind of hibernate, just like all men do. They can hibernate and keep that deep inside. Sometimes it's not even, they're not aware of that. It's deep inside of them. It's seated deeply inside, and they're not aware that they are just gestating these feelings until they're ready to come out, because their brain sometimes is not ready to accept. They have to click with it and have that moment of epiphany, sort of, and some of them are awakening slowly. Some of them are awakening in the matter of seconds. It will just come to them, and they will like, it will be like, ta-da, and they will realize you are the one. But sometimes it takes years, and it's just a very slow process, like any seed. It takes time to come out and start growing, and that's how they are. It is like that. You have to understand, because they are your other health. And that's there. And we come now to the most important and the hardest part and the biggest of all reasons why they do not take action towards you. And here it is. If they're your mirror, if they're your other half, if they are your counterpart. So before we look at your other side of you, which is your twin, let's look at your side of you, your side of your coin, of the coin, because twin flames are the coin with two sides. So look at yourself first. Let's say it's in our nature to improve ourselves, to strive to be better in every aspect. So let's take aspect of physical appearance, for example, just for example. And let's say you have a bad hair day, or you have a bad haircut. Do you worry so much about the other people's haircuts, or do you worry about your own more? Because that's in your nature, and it's everybody's nature. If you're not happy with your skin complexion, you will not spend all night worrying about other people's complexion. You will worry about your own. So you want to be best for yourself, and you want to work on yourself to be the best. And that can be any aspect of your life. If you want to learn languages, you will go to school. You want to learn, you will go on internet and you will learn a language. You will not be worried about other people knowing only one language. You want you to know two or three or four languages. It's not about others. So your twin is trying to be perfect for you. That's why they always keep thinking they're not ready. Now, they're perfect for you per se. Yes, they are, because you were created together, and so yes, you're perfect match. But over the time of evolution of your souls, through the physical life, you have acquired a lot of negative aspects, and there's from spiritual to mental traumas to physical issues that you were not created with. So we are now just going through process. Each of us are going through process of shedding off these things that will, once they are removed, will make us back to what we think is perfection for our twin. If you ever have you ever had a moment when you were thinking, if my twin flame showed up at my door right now, I wouldn't be ready for them. I don't want them to see me like this. Whether it's a physical appearance, or your mental state of being, or your spiritual low moment, or whatever, you don't want them. Sometimes it's your energy. You don't want, you're vibrating really low, and you don't want to be like that around your twin. You don't want them to feel that, and to bring them down with you yourself. Or it could be physical or whatever. So your twin always is running away because they're never feeling that they're ready. This is a weird type of compliment for you, but that's how they feel. They're like, I'm not ready. She needs, or he needs me to be in a perfect state of being, and I'm not there yet. So that's why they keep running away. They don't do it because they hate you. They do it because they love you so much and they think of you so much. And even if they're not mentally aware, deep down, that's what they feel about you. They're like, you are the most perfect match for them, and they're preparing mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. And it's a process. The most paradoxical part of that process is when you see them with the karmics, hitting on other people, spending time with other people, dating other people, and it's making you so mad and angry and sad, most of all sad and scared. But they are doing that, believe it or not, to learn skills for you, to learn to raise their self-esteem. If your twin is running after super good looking girls, rich girls, hard to get girls. That means he's trying to improve his dating skills, his relationship skills. He's try to see if he can aim that high, or if he's running around and just collecting the sort of not quality but quantity type of thing. Again, it's healing process for him to learn how to be uh, what he is viewing as perfection, or as being better at things, so he can finally get over the fear of approaching you. So it's weird, but he's just practicing for you, or she, so either way. Now, I'll also have an Muslim Muslim perspective on that, which is very interesting, because you will find in Islamic culture that men are also, it's recommended, it's not commanded, but it's recommended by God in the Quran, that men should lower their gaze and the women should lower their gaze. So it's part of our religious culture to lower the gaze when we see someone very attractive or good looking, which is quite opposite of most of the Western cultures. For example, in Italy, men will whistle on the street when they see good looking woman, or other kinds of ways of appreciation in other parts of the world. While in for example, in America, it's very similar to Islam, actually, because in America, at workplace, they will be aware of possibility of sexual harassment suits, so they will not give you like too many personal compliments. People will stay away from you, so they don't want to get sued for being that you're being sexually harassed or something. It's very similar if you look at that in Islamic culture, is that we don't stare at people. We don't come close to women that are single and say, "Oh wow, girl, you look great. We don't do that. But at the same time, the more, like, when you see in practical example, when you see a guy who lowers his gaze when the girl is passing by, or completely ignores her, that's a compliment. That means that he did look for a second, and he did notice that she's good looking, that she's very attractive, and so that is the way he compliments her, by looking down, by not looking at her, by and if you don't know this, you may think that that person is ignoring you, but that's their way of paying you a compliment, saying that you're so good looking that they have to lower their gaze, otherwise they may have some weird thoughts, or you just they may start having a desire to pursue you or something. So this is interesting, way to show you that if your twin flame is ignoring you, that just may mean that they think you're too hot for them, that you're out of their league, and it doesn't mean only physically out of their league, but out of their league energetically, mostly because of what they feel when you are present close to them. All right. Now, this video got a lot of time, but I think these are important things that we addressed today. Very important for you to think about. You can re-listen the video, or you can watch it in different parts. Please subscribe and like and comment, because I'm coming up with more coaching soon. And I'm going to go now just for the messages that have come up, because I promised you. So I'm just going to quickly go through messages right now. So you guys remember the conference, the seminar that I attended, where my twin flame mother was present? I talked about in the previous video. And when I was getting my certificate done, remember I told you that they later called me to be part of the documentary? Well, anyways, the last night of the conference, I was going to give my ticket back for the certificate, and as a proof of attendance. And I noticed this number 786 and an 8 on my ticket, and it's a very significant number in Islam, and I will just explain that in a second. But before I do that, so yes, anyways, when I showed it to the organizers, they said I can keep my ticket, because everybody was amazed, because in Islam we know 786 means in the name of God, most merciful. And of course 8 represents infinity, infinite love, infinite abundance, the barakah. So in the name of Allah, barakah, basically these numbers will be translated to. And as my own confirmation of that, I received this receipt on 13th, on the 13th, and so that was just a little bit later that week. See, September 7 to 9, and then September 13th, I received this receipt, and my ID, I never noticed before. My ID is 10687, which is 786 reading from the right to the left. So it's really good confirmation. Let me explain the number 786 right now. So besides Islam, seems like in a Sanskrit, 7 and 8, 6 also have numerical value of Om. Om, the sacred sound of Om in Sanskrit. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but that's an excellent confirmation that I was there, and that the God, that universe, that source was watching every step, that everything was divinely ordained, that I was there, that man contacted me later. By the way, the name of the man who contacted me is Tariq, and Tariq means the knocking star, the special star in the heavens. And I was being prompted that whole week about the name Tariq. Someone from my past, a friend, contacted me. His name is also Tariq. And that was just a few days before the conference. I was contacted by another Tariq. And then I was watching the day before Tariq from this organization contacted me. I was watching a music video by Muhammad Tariq. I will put him below. Beautiful, beautiful singer. You can enjoy his video after this. It's beautiful for relaxation, for raising your vibration. I'm gonna post it in the description. And I also looked at this because on my receipt it was 687. It was in different order from 786 from right to left. And it doesn't matter. It's just a combination of numbers, and they come up to the same. So according to angel number meaning, it's a sign about self-esteem, the power of self-respect. So power of giving yourself more credit and self-worth, which is exactly, it's just giving me goosebumps right now, which is exactly what we were talking about in the previous video. We all had that test of self-worth in September and October. So that just concludes that we were on the right path, and we were doing the right thing, and we are still on the right path. And I wish you all great. Oh, and I also wanted to show you one more thing, which is, I also forgot to say that yesterday, right in front of my car, I found this piece of paper with someone's phone number on it, and I cannot show you the number because I don't know who this person is. I don't want to not because of you guys, but who knows who could be watching also. So I don't want to put someone's privacy in jeopardy. But the name is Rachel, and that tells you enough because my channel's name is Rachel. And the number here, if I have to cover these two numbers, but it's not significant. The significance is that there's still 7, 4 and 2 is 6, and 8. So that's still 7, 6, 8, or 6, 7, 8, and the number 1, and also 8, which is infinity number. So a lot of confirmations have come up my way to show that we were all on the right path. And for the conclusion of the video, I just want to say this is final message for this week. live in the now. Don't worry about too much. Universe is watching over you in the name of Allah or the source. You're being divinely protected. And live in the now. Enjoy the moment. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is mystery, and today is a gift. That is why they call it a present. Enjoy your everyday. Watch my next video. I love you guys. Stay well, stay warm, and I'm sending you my love and my kisses and my hugs, and God bless you, and salam alaikum, peace be upon you, and thanks for watching.